All right, so now your title has to be clear and concise. Why? You don't want an ambiguous title because you're going to lose the marks. And then the title guides the project. So examples of ambiguous titles would be handspan versus handspan and footspan. What is that? A more specific title would be probably the relationship between the handspan and the footspan. You'll see now there is the relationship between a student's handspan and footspan. So that directs your project. So you know, okay, if you pick up this and you're going to read it as an examiner, okay, this is the relationship between a handspan and a footspan of probably the same person. And then it guides the tone of the SPA. So we have a pro tip there, a well-defined project title. So a well-defined title helps you stay focused and improves the clarity of the SPA. So I think that should be fairly straightforward. We're moving on now. Right, so we have some important notes on titles. A poor or vague title really limits the quality of the SPA you could produce. And this is very important because if you have a poor SPA, you're not going to get full marks in the other sections. And as we go along, you'll understand. For example, you want to choose an SPA that lends itself well to a good SPA at good marks. In other words, if I were to say, could Form 5 students run faster than Form 4 students or Form 3 students? The answer is obviously yes. That is, no investigation is required for that question. That is obvious. So things like that, you don't need an introduction, you don't need a title, you don't need an analysis, you don't need a presentation of data to conclude that. I could ask my nephew, I could ask my uncle, hey uncle, you think Form 4s, Form 5s faster than Form 1s or Form 2s? Obviously the answer is yes. I mean, there might be some anomalies, but in general the answer is yes. So you don't want to have obvious things, because then when you go to the analysis and you go to the introduction, you go to the design, it's really lacking. You can't do much with that. So that's the first thing. So apart from the title being clear and concise, you have to have a title that lends itself to a very well project, a very good project, a deep project. Another examples would be, let's just say, can somebody run faster along a bend or on a straight track, 100 meters? Obviously, you're gonna run faster on a straight track, right? I mean, it's obvious. These things that you don't have to do experiments to do that. Or on the board I have, can somebody run faster 100 meters with a 5-pound ankle weight, say, attached? Or compared to without? Obviously the answer is you're going to run faster without. Those are logical, those are obvious answers. So let's just say, if you want to make it a little twist. In fact, we'll come to the twist when we get down further. Because we have some bonuses, which would be how to expand your project, given an idea, how to actually make it bigger and in a good way, such that the examiners would appreciate it and you'll be able to get more marks on the SPA. So we're moving along. I hope that's clear enough.